Hey, I'm Jack, and today I'm going to demonstrate how Panther helps security teams quickly correlate malicious activity with real-time monitoring and AI-powered triage. So upon opening Panther in our alert details view, we get a sense of what might be going on here. We have our alert title, which says that one user called security tool service account, this is a legitimate one that got leaked, created API keys for DevOps service account. That's a pretty good name for a user. It actually might seem legitimate. We get some other metadata as well, like the detection that caused this alert, the MITRE attack techniques that are involved in this, and then the runbook that we want to follow. But we don't want to do this manually. We want to use AI. We've already gone through and run our AI triage, so let's go through and look at the results. The way that AI triage works in Panther is that it goes and collects a lot of really helpful context about what might be causing this activity, and it bundles it together and puts it in a nice report that your team can read very easily and make a great informed next decision. So this report gives us things like timeframes, it gives us users, it gives us access keys, and it tells us that this user created a new one and then it immediately tried to access S3 and did some other really risky things. The key findings really outline some really interesting specific information about what happened. So we see that the newly created access key was immediately used within 68 seconds to make API calls. That's a really important piece of information. The user also successfully accessed S3 buckets and retrieving multiple objects from a model training data bucket. This sounds pretty serious. We should make sure that this didn't get anything that was too sensitive. But if this attacker might be in our network still, we want to make sure that we cut this access as soon as possible. So we see that the AI wrote a lot of different queries to try to understand the extent of the activity. But I want to look at this query right here. So I'm going to click through and I'm going to land in our search. And in search, we get this ability to add separate columns. We can do filters. We can do drill downs. We can actually also do AI here as well to summarize our results. But what I want to do is I want to look at the event names. I also want to look at the errors. So let's look at the error code. This will indicate if it was successful or failure. And that's really important when you're doing response. And because we're able to filter these columns down, we're able to get to the pertinent information quicker. So I want to really hone in on this get object command right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in. I'm going to add this filter. I'm going to rerun this. And we can see there's no errors here, so I'm going to get rid of that column. And I'm going to actually just summarize this with AI really fast. And summarizing with AI really helps us, again, cut down the amount of manual steps that analysts and your security team have to go through to really understand everything that might be going on here. So after running this analysis, we can already see that there were 3 distinct objects accessed, with the majority of the requests coming from this instruction following.jsonl, which to me says this is probably a pretty big file. We also get a few new visualizations, which are really interesting. And we get an understanding of how many bytes were transferred. So this is 150 megabytes. We see these 3 files were downloaded, and we again get our security implications. And Panther AI tries not to be too biased. That's why we're giving this benign and risk indicators. So now that we have a pretty good understanding of everything that happened in between the various queries that our AI ran and the summary that was produced, we can feel comfortable setting this to triage. So I'm going to assign this to myself. And then if I want to also add the Panther triage into the comment, I'm going to actually do that right now. And what this is going to do is it's going to give my team a sense that I'm triaging this actively with AI, investigating some of these findings, and I'm going to go take action to prevent any further loss that might be happening. Aside from alert triage, Panther is really great at getting a high-level understanding of what might be going on in your environment. So with Panther, you're able to view all the different dashboards that your team creates for various reasons. This could be compliance. In this particular case, this is detection signals, which gives me an overview of all the different alerts and signals generated within my Panther instance. I can hover over these, I can click through to drill down, and it really gives us a sense of what might be happening inside of our environment. So I hope you enjoyed this quick demo today. If you want to learn more about Panther's real-time detections, AI-powered triage, dashboarding, and performing security monitoring at scale, please request a demo and reach out to us. We would love to help you. Thank you.